We all know that setting goals is one thing, but achieving them is another. And the secret to making things happen? It's all in the planning and execution. First things first, let's talk about defining your goals. Every successful project starts with a clear vision. Before you dive into action, it's crucial to understand what exactly you're trying to achieve. Ask yourself, what's the end result I want to see? This big picture thinking will keep you focused on what matters. For instance, if you want to create a community garden, your goal might be to have a fully functioning garden with members from your neighborhood actively involved. Defining the why behind your goal is just as important. It's what will keep you motivated when things get tough. Once you have that big goal in mind, it's time to set clear objectives. This is where you break down your main goal into smaller, manageable pieces. Think of these as mini goals that guide you toward the final result. For example, with our community garden project, one objective might be to secure a location for the garden, another to recruit volunteers, and a third to gather all the necessary supplies. Each smaller objective brings you a step closer to the big goal, and it makes the entire project feel less overwhelming. With your objectives in place, now it's time to build your project plan. This step is all about creating a roadmap that will lead you from start to finish. Begin by listing every single task that needs to be done, big or small. Next, prioritize these tasks by asking yourself which ones are the most important. High-priority tasks are those that have a significant impact on the project or are time-sensitive. For example, in our community garden project, securing a location is high priority, whereas deciding on flower varieties might be a lower priority. Organizing tasks this way helps you focus on the essentials without getting sidetracked. Now that you have a list of tasks and priorities, it's time to create a timeline. This is where you assign deadlines for each task to make sure everything gets done on time. Start with your high-priority tasks and set specific dates for each. This timeline doesn't have to be rigid, but it gives you a structure to keep things moving forward. No project ever goes 100% according to plan, so having a bit of flexibility will save you from a lot of stress. Next up is gathering your resources and team. Every project requires resources, whether that's people, tools, or funding. If you're working solo, identify the tools or materials you'll need at each stage of the project. If you're working with a team, make sure everyone knows their role and responsibilities from the beginning. In our community garden example, this might mean assigning someone to handle outreach, another person to coordinate supplies, and someone else to oversee the garden layout. With your team and resources in place, you're ready to execute your plan. This is where all your planning turns into action. Take it one step at a time, sticking to your timeline and focusing on each task individually. Track your progress as you go. Checking off completed tasks not only keeps you organized but also boosts your motivation by reminding you of how much you've accomplished so far. And here's an important tip: stay flexible. Challenges are inevitable, but don't let them derail you. While you're working on the project, don't forget to monitor your progress and keep yourself and your team motivated. Regular check-ins are a great way to stay on track. Use project management tools, a calendar, or even just a checklist to see where you stand at any given moment. Celebrate small milestones along the way. These mini celebrations keep everyone energized and make the project feel like a series of achievable steps rather than one big, daunting task. Finally, once you've completed the project, it's time for a review and reflection. This step is all about learning from the experience. Take a moment to assess what went well and what didn't. Ask for feedback from your team if you worked with others. What were the biggest challenges? What strategies worked, and what could have been done differently? Reflecting on these questions will not only give you a sense of accomplishment but will also help you improve for your next project. Remember, every project teaches us something valuable, and the lessons we learn will make future projects even smoother. So, to sum it all up, successful project planning and execution come down to a few key steps. Define your goals, set clear objectives, build a project plan, create a timeline, gather resources, execute with focus, monitor your progress, and finally, review and reflect. With these steps, you'll have the tools to tackle any project with confidence and clarity. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to your friends and family. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.